There's a powder sitting in your kitchen right now that kills every rat and mouse in your home in under 48 hours. It costs roughly $1. It is already in your cabinet. And unlike every rodenticide sold at every hardware store on the planet, it leaves every pet, chicken, bird, and wild animal near your property completely and permanently untouched. The reason most people try this and get nothing is a single ratio error. 2 to 1, not 1 to 1. That one number is the difference between bait they eat and bait that kills them. I will get to the exact recipe in under 2 minutes. But first, the mechanism. Because once you understand the biology of why this works, the whole system makes obvious sense, and you will never forget how to do it correctly. Every rat and every mouse on Earth shares the same anatomical limitation. They cannot vomit. This is not a behavioral quirk. It is a hard physical constraint built into their biology. Rats lack the coordinated neural and muscular response required to reverse the movement of their digestive system. The diaphragm muscles on the expulsion side are too underdeveloped to generate the sustained pressure burst that vomiting requires. The esophageal sphincter does not open in reverse. Once something enters a rat's stomach, it is staying there. Mice share the same limitation. No rodent in the order Rodentia has the ability to vomit. Researchers have tested this directly by administering known emetics, substances that reliably trigger vomiting in virtually every other mammal. And rodents show no response whatsoever. The reflex does not exist. That matters because baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, reacts with stomach acid on contact. Stomach acid is hydrochloric acid. The reaction is immediate. Sodium bicarbonate plus hydrochloric acid produces carbon dioxide gas, water, and salt. In a human, that carbon dioxide exits as a burp within seconds. In a rat, there is no exit. The gas builds inside the stomach expands, the pressure rises into the surrounding organs. The result is fatal internal hemorrhaging that occurs within 12 to 48 hours of ingestion. That is the entire mechanism. $1. A chemistry reaction that has been sitting in your kitchen cabinet the whole time, and a biological limitation the rat has no way to overcome. Here is the exact recipe. For mice, the mix is 2 parts baking soda to 1 part cornbread mix, not equal parts. 2 parts baking soda to 1 part cornbread. This is where almost every version of this recipe goes wrong online. People mix them 50-50, and the baking soda concentration never reaches a lethal threshold before the mouse moves on. The cornbread mix is purely the attractant. Its fine grain and light sweetness is irresistible to mice. Add a small pour of corn syrup or honey, roughly the amount you would drizzle on a stack of pancakes, and stir all 3 together until the mixture binds loosely. The syrup does 2 things. It enhances the sweetness draw, and it glues the dry ingredients together so the bait holds its shape instead of scattering when something disturbs it. For rats, the syrup and honey come out entirely. Rats tend to be cautious of anything strongly sweet. A sweet smell can actually trigger avoidance behavior in older, more experienced rats that have been around bait before. Replace the syrup with bacon grease or beef tallow, 1 to 2 tablespoons, stirred into the dry mix. The fat binds the ingredients and shifts the aroma profile toward exactly the kind of food source rats move toward instinctively. Beef tallow is the better long-term choice over bacon grease because it does not go rancid as quickly. If you're placing bait in locations, you will not check for several days. Wall voids, crawl spaces, attic corners. Tallow holds without degrading. Now placement. And this is where most people throw away all the work they did on the recipe. Rats and mice are neophobic. They are genetically hardwired to fear new objects introduced into their environment. This is an evolutionary survival trait. Novel things in a rat's territory have historically been traps. A pile of bait placed openly on the floor in the center of a room can sit untouched for 3 to 5 days, sometimes a full week. Not because they cannot smell it, because they will not approach something new until they have decided it is safe. The solution is 2 parts. First, always place bait inside a covered station, a repurposed cardboard box with 2 small entry holes on the sides, a plastic container with penny-sized openings cut in. The enclosed space removes the exposed feeling and makes the bait far less threatening to a cautious animal. Second, place the station against a wall, not in the open. Rats and mice run along baseboards because they navigate by feel. Their whiskers brush the wall as they move, and it orients them. They avoid open floor space. Every trap and bait station placed in the middle of a room is fighting their instinct. Every station placed against a wall, entry holes facing the baseboard, is working with it. Check stations every 48 hours. The bait will be disturbed or gone within the first 2 days if the population is active. Replenish until you go 3 consecutive checks with 0 activity. Here's the part that most pest control tutorials will never tell you. If you are dealing with a heavy infestation, or with rats that have been trapped or baited before and carry that wariness, pre-bait first. Run your stations for the first 2 to 3 days with 0 baking soda in the mix, pure cornbread and syrup, pure cornbread and tallow. Let them eat freely. Let them return repeatedly. Let them decide the station is a reliable, safe food source and stop registering it as a threat. Then on day 3 or 4, switch to the full 2-to-1 baking soda formula. The caution is already gone. Consumption is immediate and thorough. There is one more ingredient worth knowing about for situations where the baking soda method needs a backup. Plaster of Paris works through a different chemical pathway, but the same core limitation. Rodents cannot expel solid matter that forms inside their digestive system. Mix equal parts plaster of Paris and cornmeal with just enough water to produce a stiff dough. Roll into small balls and let them harden completely before placing. When a rat or mouse consumes the bait and drinks water afterward, and they will, the cornmeal makes them thirsty, the plaster sets inside the digestive system. The advantage over baking soda bait is shelf life. Hardened plaster balls do not go rancid, do not attract insects, and can be placed in locations you are not checking frequently. Wall voids, under insulation in an attic, behind a crawl space panel, set it and leave it. Neither baking soda nor plaster of Paris leaves any active compound in the rodent's body after death. This is the fundamental difference from anticoagulant poisons, warfarin, brodifacoum, bromadiolone, which remain biologically active in the carcass and can kill the hawk, owl, cat, or dog that finds the body. Secondary poisoning is documented in raptors and domestic animals every year from rodenticides. There is no secondary poisoning pathway with either of these methods. Nothing that eats a rodent killed by this bait will be harmed in any way. Your pets are safe. The owl on your fence is safe. $1 of baking soda, a box with 2 holes in it, and the one ratio that almost every tutorial gets wrong. Thanks for watching. If this saved you a pest control call, pass it along to someone dealing with the same problem. See you in the next one.